Kind of hard to see you, Yogi. A little bit light, maybe.
It's okay. More important that you can hear my voice.
Definitely.
Face changes. I believe in my last lifetime, which I believe in incarnations too, I didn't have the same face. I hope I don't have the same face my next incarnation. But my consciousness should be the same, or maybe evolved one. Do you understand? So there's a lots going on in the at present situation in society. Also, the beyond forget society as an individual. I had a message today. Pardon, because after Prana Kriya Yoga, lots of coughing, so my throat might feel a bit itchy. The very famous word. Some countries have actually even banned that word. You can't actually even say that name. Corona, COVID-19. Some people might be suffering from a social withdrawal syndrome. That socializing. That you have either. Uh, Hello, everybody. There's a bit noise in the background. So if you have day-to-day life, and now all of a sudden you don't have the people that who you can actually engage or hang out with. Please give me 1 second. I need to plug it to the power. Okay. Not going to work. So, lot going socially in life, but important part in that structure is that if you feeling a social withdrawal issue that you don't have people to hang out with or people you can see, people you can talk, what happens in that scenario is you need to find. Imagine this is your choice. Consciously, you are staying at home. I received a message today earlier. Somebody was saying that I feel claustrophobic, or I feel all the issues of my past trauma that I have suffered in my life, being locked down or being told off to stay in the dark room with punishment at the school, or all those things coming into the surface because the word lockdown is creates more fear rather than it should have been seen as the place of self solitude, fear, or social withdrawal issues, or in the eternal battle that I don't want to stay in my limited space. Imagine if you are on the spiritual part of sadhana that you have to stay in a cave for a year, 2 year, 3 year meditating. You heard the stories back in the up in the Himalayas how people live. I myself spent 40 days in a dark room. Can you imagine? Staying in a dark room for 40 days. There is no light. There is no even wall painting or windows inside. But the fear was tremendous at the early stage. But slowly, as time went on, you actually get to enjoy the spending time with yourself. But Fear is not locked down. Fear is actually inside you. There is something it triggers emotionally, intellectually. If you get a fear inside and you want to become a rebel, your nature as a human nature is being rebellious. You want to rebel against it. You have absolutely every right to be a rebel. But you need to think about it. Nobody knows what the situation is, but you are already creating more and more fear to your nervous system and try to fight against it. So it's not you don't want to follow the rules of government. I don't know the government what they're up to. Nobody knows. So governments are government, but as an individual, you must take responsibility for your own health. If your mind tells you, the habit tells you, you want to go outside, you want to be celebrating the sunshine if it comes out, it's also a necessary, but also do consider your health and other people's health. But if you do fear staying inside the room, as per one of my students' message asking for help, but I can say simply you can renegotiate with your mind if your past fear comes along. Has anybody suffered from having a issue of being locked down in the house or from past or being put away into the dark corner room? Sometimes memory comes in. Or feeling trapped. Same emotion. Right now you feel trapped due to the coronavirus in your home. Can you imagine there's so many times you have felt trapped in your own mind by the circumstances, by your own thought, that you can actually never grow out of them. I'm pretty sure that most of you have felt trapped by your own mind. If not, some of them are still feel trapped by their own mind. I have a living example, my dear friend Michael. He's majority of the time trapped by his mind. Sometimes he has to slap his own face to wake up, get out of it. No, Michael? Sometimes it's a big effort. Sometimes you don't need any effort. Sometimes you just need either self appreciation as gratitude about your own self. How do you feel as an individual to cultivate a more loving relationship toward yourself? The time you start cultivating the loving relationship toward yourself, you can create wonders in your life. The other topic I can talk about it, the nowadays everybody like to be a hero. This word crisis moment, everybody want to be savior. You never see them of the time, but whenever there is a crisis in society or in somebody else's life, doesn't matter how much crisis you have in your own life, that is irrelevant. You don't want to talk about it, never want to look after or think about it. But the moment you find out somebody else having a crisis in their life, you want to become a savior. They say, put more light on. Can't you see I'm glowing? No, can you not see I'm glowing? I go with more light. Better? Not really. Stay there, guys. Give me a second. A little bit better? Not really. Stay a second, please. Let me edit. I'm sure there will be enough light now. Okay. So, we go back to the topic of crisis, being a hero. being a hero. Do you feel like sometime whenever you find somebody suffering or having a crisis in their life, you want to become savior? You can be honest. You can put your hand up. If you feel like sometimes you get that thought in your head that I want to help somebody. So what happens? You're looking for recognition. You're looking for a validation. You're looking for a approval. Because you feel that somebody actually in a need can appreciate you better than somebody else who's actually not in a need. So if your idea to help somebody is coming from genuine place, if it's coming from a genuine place, you do not need to portray your help or other people to make them feel pity about themselves or try to make them feel I have helped you, you stamp on their chest or on their forehead. So they have to live under the burden of your mercy because you actually helped them. Especially in the modern day of the social media, you actually even give somebody one piece of banana, you want to make sure you take a selfie. Giving somebody one piece of banana, you want to post that on social media to get millions of likes and how great you are, you're doing such a great job. Can you imagine? Are you really being kind inside? Are you really doing something from place of genuinity? Or are you just looking for a appreciation of other people? So all those moments, I'm not saying helping somebody is bad. Great job to do it. Everybody should do it. Everybody should live a compassionate, kind life. But what is important part? If it's coming from the place of compassion, or is coming from place of validation or appreciation from other people, or trying to show somebody else that how great you are. If it's coming from place for looking that try to impose your greatness on other people, is a wrong concept. Better not to do it. Because immediately you have killed somebody else's spirit. You're helping somebody, but now other person always have to be in banana. I talked about banana. Saraswati went along, pick up the banana. This is called psychology of mind. Do you understand? It's called psychology. If somebody is now drinking for water, you pick up the glass of water, then five other people pick up the glass of water as well to drink. So remember, it's sometimes you can portray even your concept that I am doing it to inspire other people. But it's understandable. You can inspire other people, but you don't really need to put other people's life in danger as well as your life in danger, especially where this guideline. For example, I give you present a scenario. For me, I know I have a charity in India, also in UK. We teach lots of yoga classes, meditation, as well as we feed a lot of people. But the government have imposed everywhere the rule that you cannot hang out more than two people or less living in the same family member. I go along and start taking the food to all the poor people that we feed 150 people almost every day. To them, please come along. I'm helping them, but I'm breaking the law same time as well. Despite I have a license from government to serve them. But important part, then I take a picture with them. I am not actually even protected myself. My mouth is open, their mouth is open. Everybody is breathing. If you do believe in certain level of health and safety, try not to do it. And then I can say I'm inspiring other people. So it's not that act will not be coming from place of compassion. Will be coming from place of me trying to impose. Look at me, how great I am. Even in the crisis of Corona, I don't care about myself. I'm even risking my own life to help other people. What kind of stupidity is that? what kind of stupidity is that? That I'm risking my own life to be a hero, to help other people. Then I say, I'm trying to help other people. Can you not imagine I'm risking my own life? Nobody asked you to risk your life. Does anyone, what kind of compassion you can be? Your living can make big difference to the society, not your putting your life on the risk can make a difference to people. So if you have any idea, if you get an inspiration to go out to society to help, please do consider yourself first. Because sometimes you can say yogi always teach selfishness. I'm talking self-awareness. People say you always talk about people to be more selfish. But you can judge it. I might be saying being selfish, or I can say be a bit more self-aware. So try not to, not only from corona crisis, but any situation, don't try to come from place of self-validation. Is the issue is not actually helping. It's about how psychologically you relate with every action you do. What is your motivation from your inner inspiration? Even you want to help an elderly person lift the piece of bag, go up the stairs, but at the time you're about to help, what is your real inspiration at that given circumstance, very moment? What thought crosses your mind? Do you really want to help it, or are you looking to somebody else? How such a kind boy or such a kind person try to do a good job in society? Majority of time can be the case. If you try to be compassionate, it should be all the time, not momentary. If you're a kind person, you should be 24/7, not only time to time when you can get appreciation. So there is a slight, uh, your mind can either take you either way. This is the one part from try not to be a hero, or try not to be a savior. Point one, especially in given circumstances. Everybody talking about present situation of lockdown or this virus issue. What will you do? And people should utilize this time to think about it. What exactly you are going to take out of it moving forward? What will be the post impact of this crisis? What will be the post impact? What you are learning in the time of lockdown? How will you move it forward when you come out of it? What habits you are going to change? What habits you are going to develop it? Where your investment is going to be, intellectually as well as physically. Second part, are you cultivating a bit of compassion? Now you feel all compassion, kind, sorrow, and sad, love for everybody. Well, when you're out of it, will you still maintain some of it? That's one more part you can think about it. Not just to have either everybody feel loving and caring given circumstances. Can you be loving and caring and kind without any reason? If you need is somebody else to be sad or suffering or in a crisis for you to be kind, is not actually a kindness. That is actually an outcome of the circumstances that taking place in front of you. It doesn't belong to you. It is triggered by external resources. Does it make sense to you? If you say, oh, love, love, love all the time, but your love is dependent on external source. You don't have love inside you. You have the idea of love, but you don't have the love inside. You may have the attraction, you may have the liking, but actually not the love. If your love gets triggered by a second party or a external object. So it all dependent on our outside source. So these few things one should actually think about. what exactly you are going to do post crisis. Will there be any change in your lifestyle? Are you going to maintain certain level of humanity in you? It's very strong word to use, humanity. People say, do you think I am not human at present? Somebody will saying that, do you think I'm not human? I am human now, but you are an animal sometime in a human body. You don't, you look back, if your actions are like animal, despite you might be in a human body, you are not a human. There is one saying in Sanskrit, Yesam vidya na tapo na danam, jnanam na silam na gudo na dharma, tre mrityu loke bhaubhar bhuta, manusya rupen bragas charante. So I think some of them might understand the Sanskrit meaning of it, but I can elaborate it for you. Yesam vidya. For those people, vidya is knowledge. Yesam vidya, tap means penance. Tapo, yesam vidya, tap, vidya, dan, compassion, dharma, righteousness, Loke, Bhubhar Bhuta. Those people actually on the earth as a weight, Manushrupe Mrigacharanti, they are like deers walking in a human body. That why there is a symbolism given to a deer? All the beauty they do, the musk, you heard the word musk? Deer have the musk inside his own belly. But when he grazes, the smell of the musk drives him crazy. And he just look for the smell everywhere. So where this smell is coming from? Do you understand? Where is this smell is coming from? It just goes everywhere, place to place, but can never stay still. Similarly, we are also an animal. If you cannot understand your pure essence, your pure beauty that comes from inside you, but you are looking for the beauty outside constantly, that drives you crazy, like a deer. So basically, if you don't know your inner beauty, if you don't know your inner resources, if you don't know your inner self, what exactly you're doing? You are grazing like a deer, looking around everywhere for the smell the beauty is coming from. But what happened? Hunter comes along, hits the wild deer. It's unfortunate. But similarly, you can be hunted by your own mind, by the circumstances, because you actually never connected with your inner beauty. You're always looking for that beauty outside. You're always looking for that compassion, love outside, but actually they were all inside you. So, key point is make sure your kindness is not dependent on an external object of external circumstances. It should be part of you. It is in you. Try to acknowledge it. Try to feel it. Compassion, similarly, is inside you, part of you. If you are practicing compassion, it's never possible. You can never practice compassion. Either you have it or you don't have it. Similarly, with love, develop it inside you, cultivate it, not act it. Act is temporary. When you have it inside you, it's permanent. Would you like kind, compassion, love to be permanent with you 24/7 or temporary time to time? I leave that to you. You can decide that. I come back to the topic of does anybody have any question? Or can I carry on talking about in my head? No? So You know, if you practice yoga, if you practice yoga, what does yoga does it to you? Gives you strength to speak your mind. Majority of the time, everybody tells you, please suppress it. No? Most of the time, everybody tells you, please suppress it. Try to speak what other people like to hear it. Have you been told that? Speak nice words. So people say, such a gentle person. Or Nick, is that the case? Everybody tells you speak nicely, be polite. Being polite is a nice thing to do, but sometimes in the name of politeness, you also can suppress your own emotions, suppress your own mind, suppress your own thinking, suppress your individuality. The issue is in the race of becoming independent, in a race of becoming an independent, because everybody likes to be independent, no? What teaches you from the early days? Be independent. Or this child is very independent. This person is independent. Is actually independent really exist? Does anybody question ever? Is independent is actually exist? I have not found it yet. Despite I'm pretty independent, what modern society is saying. But I can tell you my life is dependent on the breath. Do you understand? My life is dependent on the breath. My existence in this body is dependent on this body. My soul to be able to speak, for mind to exist, dependent on this body. So I am still not independent. My body is dependent on the food. My body is dependent on the water. Even my ability to speak is dependent on somebody else to hear it. Can you imagine if I'm just talking, there's nobody else to hear it? People will tell you he's got mental, he's got insane. He got insane. He lost his head. Can you imagine? You are walking down the street, there's nobody to listen to you what you are saying, and you are just talking. What people will tell you? He just lost the plot. No? Everybody look at you with funny eyes and with raise the eyebrows a bit. Probably if you are in the city of London, people will actually go away from you, give you a bit more extra space. Because they don't know what you can do next thing. No? That will happen then? What will happen? People will think you lost the plot. If you start talking to yourself. So actually, even for you to speak, you need a second party, somebody to hear you. So actually, even your speaking is dependent. Your hearing is also codependent. You need somebody else to speak to you, so actually you can hear it. Your ears are also codependent. Doesn't matter the person or even the nature sound. Similarly, your eyes. If there is no object in front of you, you don't have any vision. You have no imagination. There is no graphics for your brain to communicate to your senses. Your tongue will give you no taste. Even the ear will not give you no sensuality. Your whole life, you are codependent. Your entire existence is codependent. But what you do, you believe you are independent. Wrong practice, wrong message, wrong teaching. So change your thinking that you are not independent. You are codependent. Even your entire creation, the manifestation of this body is codependent on your parents. Without your parents, will that possible that you will incarnate? I don't think so. Can you have manifested this body without your parents meeting together? So your entire existence, your very core of materialization into this body, whatever your name is, whatever your ego is, whatever your mind is, actually dependent on two people to come together. If not two people, at least two genes to come together to make a living entity. So your existence, your creation is codependent, but you start living independent, you start believing independent, you start chasing independent. What is wrong being codependent? I never actually understand that concept. What is the difficulty? What is the difficult part being codependent? What's wrong being codependent? Can you not enjoy being codependent? Let's say, example, you have a girlfriend, you have a boyfriend, you have a wife, you have a husband, you have a mother and father, brothers, they're all codependent. You codependent on them. If not, vary your whole life dependent on the breath. I like you to live without the breath, please, if you can. Can you be independent enough not to breathe? Not really. Means you are dependent on the breath. So appreciate that you are codependent. And in that very moment where you accept that you are codependent, your pride will not be there, your ego will not be there. That will not give you a hard time. You will not feel depressed. You will not feel let down. You will not feel lots of issues of your mind will disappear. In one sentence, the time you accept that you are codependent. Are you understand? Are you getting what I'm saying to you? Nick, are you falling asleep, my friend? Usually Michael falls asleep a lot more faster. He says my voice is so mesmerizing, he can't resist falling asleep. It's like lullaby, basically. Because his mama never sing him lullaby. So he misses them. He replaced me with his mother's voice today. Okay, back to the topic. Back to the topic. So what you can do? Do I need to speak? Simone, Grosjean to everyone, do I need to speak? Probably not, my friend. If you can not hear me, yes, you can. Is a chocolatier guy, but he have a great chocolate industry, makes great chocolate, but he never actually brought me a single piece of chocolate. Say, Yogi, please try. He comes to meditation regularly, but now he can't take it because of the laptop or the computer technology. So remember next time, Simone, bring the nice chocolate. You are a great chocolatier. I heard lots of stories about you. He said he doesn't have chocolate. I know you don't have chocolate now. But back to the subject I was talking. So if you stop being independent, believing that you need to be independent, because everybody have told you to be independent, because something that you can never achieve. And everybody tells you, please achieve that, unachievable. You trying to achieve unachievable. How on the earth you can ever be happy? Because it can never be achieved. So always you feel depleted. You always feel down. You always feel unhappy, miserable. You feel, oh, it's not working. I'm not feeling independent. But it never supposed to be independent. So because you're trying to chase something unachievable. And that is the beauty of education. Right education. Understanding your very core of existence, you can find a lot of answers for yourself. So please, one thing you can at least take from today, not try to be independent. But one thing you can definitely try, an individual. Your problem is not independent. Your problem is individuality. In process of becoming an independent, you have lost your individuality. And that is your very core of crisis. That is the very core of your unhappiness. That is the very core of your misery in your life. Because you lost your individuality in process of becoming an independent. In chasing an independent, you lost your individuality. You don't even know who you are. If you don't know who you are, means you don't, because you're no longer individual. As long as you accept your individuality, you know who you are, you can always be happy. So try to be individual. Practice that individuality. The deep inside you, from your karmic relationship, your incarnation's point of view, practice your individuality. Forget about independence or being independent. Practice individuality. As an individual existence, whoever you are, irrelevant to your parents, don't take anything from anybody. Try to understand yourself and try to practice that. Try to live that. Means you are being individual and you are being living from your core. You are living from your center, and that where happiness comes from. And that what will bring the happiness into your life. Otherwise, you carry on the vicious cycle of independent. People ask me, well, Yogi, why are you not getting depressed? I said, why should I be depressed? Give me one reason. I don't really feel depressed. I quite enjoy life, because I don't try to be like somebody else. I don't try to copy. I say what I feel inside. Because I don't try to be polite. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, what I'm going to lose? I mean, you will never talk to me again. Thank you very much. At least I have one less person to talk to. Because I can spend more time with myself. Do I need somebody to talk to? Probably not. Yeah, to make money, yes, definitely you need other people to communicate. If you want to prove somebody else that how great you are, you need other people to talk to. But I know how great I am. Do I need somebody else to prove that? Probably not. Some people come after the class and they say, wow, such a great class, Yogi. Do I not know that? Because I taught that class. Obviously, I know how great it was. Some people get, oh, was such a beautiful meditation. I was teaching that meditation. Obviously, I know how beautiful it was. So people think that my ego will feel really boosted. I feel really happy. I will give them, wow, thank you very much. It comes to the appreciation, validation, that it's important to be acknowledged, but to be buried under that acknowledgement and you lose your voice, or lose your what you actually want to say, it's not worth it. Which you will kill your spirit. You plant the seed inside you for unhappiness. So, one message from today's conversation: please drop the chasing independent, become individual. Whoever you are, become an individual. Even you are in a relationship. Most of the relationship falls into pieces because when you come together, you just like to be each other. You just like to be forget about yourself. You just try to fit with each other. Anytime you try to become individual, your other start pointing the finger at each other. Your relationship goes completely apart because you were actually never honest with each other in the first place. You were never yourself in the first place. There was some idea of you living through your mind. Even from a relationship, even from a friendship point of view, try to be, when you are individual, there is no decoration needed. As long as you have decoration, when decoration goes away, what happened? People get to see your reality. They sometimes don't like, because packaging was different and product is different. Will you be happy? You buy the product with the based on the packaging what we advertise, and when you find out inside completely different human being, different product, you will be very disappointed. You will be very unhappy. So similarly, because you are being independent to suit somebody else, rather than be individual, whoever you are, people like it, great. Doesn't like it, no problem. There will be people who like you, your like-minded people. People, there might be the who have similar mindset as you. So try not to compromise on your individuality. Do you understand that? So simplest source of happiness I have given you today. You can never be unhappy if you are individual. Speak your truth. You have this life for you, not for anybody else. As long as you have your life for you and you speaking the truth to everybody else, at least the relationship, whatever you build, will be more dignified, more honest. On that note, some people are already feeling hungry, and I will take pranam from everybody. I hope you enjoy the discourse. Hopefully, join you next Saturday, same time. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Everybody has the ability to unmute themselves if they want to say anything.
Are you okay? Anybody have any question? I still got 2 more minutes. If not, Shivratri, everybody, good night. Sleep tight. You can always send your questions for next week's topic, either by WhatsApp or by email.
There's a form link also in the calendar invite where
you can also invite other people to join in. Also, you can reach out to social media. Just my full name, Yogi Ashokananda. Drop the school part out. So the Instagram, YouTube, also the Facebook. Just my full name, Yogi Ashokananda. Connect with it if you are not already connected. And you can always send a message. I can see if the question is enough interesting, I will talk about it. If the question is very personal, I cannot talk about to the broader audience, I will not take in consideration. So, thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Divyaji, Nick, do you enjoy the Sangha?
Thanks, Yogi. I've just been unmuted. That was great.
Okay. Do you have any questions?